Charleston, South Carolina, please welcome Michele Mortensen.
How y'all doing? Yes, so I live in Charleston, South Carolina, but I actually grew up in Reading, just north of here. You know, most of the country calls it Reading because we all know that Massachusetts towns are not pronounced the way they're spelled. So people look at my bio and they always ask, where is Reading? I said, well, it's south of Haverhill, east of Gloucester, and west of Worcester. Yeah. So, you know, people ask me if I do miss Boston, and I do. You know, I got a little teary-eyed coming in. I went by the Prue, and the Citgo sign, and the Bunker Hill Monument. Then somebody cut me off and gave me the finger on Storrow Drive. So I did what any person would do who grew up here. Sped up, cut them off, and gave them the finger. I still got it, baby. I lived 20 years in New Jersey, so I went from Massholeville to Assholeville. My husband was an executive with a Fortune 500 company, but I could not cut it as a corporate wife. I'd have to get dressed up, go to all these fancy affairs, but I could never do the whole hair and makeup thing. So I'd end up looking like the Joker. Then we'd get to the cocktail hour. I'd be starved, but I couldn't eat because I couldn't grab a napkin, grab an hors d'oeuvre, hold a plate, hold a drink, and hold my tongue so I wouldn't tell my husband's boss what an asshole he was. One time they asked me to order the wine at dinner. What drinks like you have? I don't know anything about wine. I thought Pinot Grigio was a Mexican wrestler. Steward opened the bottle, handed me the cork. I didn't know what the hell to do with it. So I gave it my best shot and I licked it. But the worst time was the time they sat me next to the boss's wife for dinner. I couldn't stand this woman. She's going on and on about decorating her house and her fancy shopping trips and all this. Finally, she catches her breath, goes, so Michele, what have you been doing? And I haven't. So I shot back, oh, haven't you heard? I've been doing your husband at lunch, bitch. That was the end of corporate life. Moved to Charleston to be with the grandkids, granddaughter. You know, kids have it tough these days. Oldest one is in 2nd grade. She has more homework now than I did in high school. And, you know, I went to pack her backpack one day. I had to put more crap in that backpack for one day than I pack in a suitcase for a week. So I take her to school and I'm looking at all these kids. Like this. She says, Grandma, what do you think I should be when I grow up? A chiropractor. You'll never have a job. Oh, you'll always have a job. So I've been married a long time. My husband isn't here. Which is probably the way I've been married a long time. I went for my annual exam the other day and the doctor asked me for the first time if I was still sexually active. And I had to think, does she want to know if I'm still having sex? Or does she want to know if I'm still active when I do have sex? Two different questions at my age. Two different answers. Things have changed. We used to come home for work for a nooner. Now we both work at home, so it's a tuner. It's an hour nap, half an hour fooling around, and another half an hour nap. Used to worry about having enough condoms. Now we worry about having enough Bengay. I used to worry about whether or not I had taken my pill. Now I worry about whether or not he's taken his pill. We used to worry about whether our parents would catch us. Now we worry about whether our kids would catch us. Which happened the other day. Daughter called. We're kind of getting into it. It's your kid. You gotta pick up the phone. Hello? Hi, Mom. Are you all right? You're awfully out of breath. What have you been doing? Playing checkers. Your father was just about to jump me. Well, do you want me to call you back? And I'll go over my husband. Nah, that's okay, Kate. think the game's just about over anyway. And so is my time, guys. Thanks, Boston.